Hello, and welcome to the Blindfold Chess Podcast. With the World Chess Championship currently underway, today we are looking at the second challenger, Ding Liren. The highest-rated Chinese player in history, the number 2 player in the world for over a year, and having the longest undefeated streak in top-level classical chess from August 2017 to November 2018, until Magnus beat that streak in 2019, Ding Liren's chess career is just as decorated as Nepo's. Growing up in Zhejiang province of China, his mother took him to a chess club when he was 4 years old. Shortly thereafter, he started using the same chess coach that the former women's world champion Zhu Chen used, Chen Lixing. In 2003 and 2004, he tied for first in the under-10 and under-12 World Youth Championships. Grinding during his teenage years, he had a breakout event in 2009 at the Chinese Chess Championships. In a field of 12, including 10 grandmasters, he was not one of them at the time. He finished in first place with 8.5 out of 11, winning by half a point, and at the age of 16, he was the youngest to win in notching his final GM norm. He won the Chinese Chess Championships again in 2011 and 2012, so for those keeping track, that's 3 national championships by the age of 19, going undefeated in all 3 events. In 2015, he finished in a 4-way tie for second at the Tata Steel Tournament, behind Carlsen. In 2016, in a 2-way tie for second, again behind Carlsen. He became the first player to reach the Chess World Cup finals twice in a row in 2017 and 19. The World Cup is a single-elimination, knockout-style tournament where the winner and the runner-up are automatically entered into the Candidates Tournament. He was also the first Chinese player to enter the Candidates Tournament. During this period is when he had his 100-game unbeaten streak. For the 2022 Candidates Tournament, he qualified by having the highest average chess rating with a 28.06, which makes sense since he has been the world number 2 behind Magnus. At that tournament, he finished second, and with Carlsen not defending his title, Ding Liren is now a challenger for the World Championship. In today's game, we are going to go back to 2020, where Ding Liren showcases that he has what it takes to defeat a world champion. Magnus Carlsen versus Ding Liren at the Magnus Carlsen Invitational. Now, if we're ready, let's begin.
One, pawn to e4. Pawn to e5. 2, pawn to f4. Pawn e captures f4. 3, knight f3. Knight f6. 4, pawn to e5. Knight h5.
This is the Shallop variation of the King's Gambit Accepted, named after the German master from the late 1800s to the early 1900s.
5, queen e2. Bishop e7. 6, pawn to d4. Castle kingside. 7, knight c3. Pawn to d6. 8, bishop d2. Bishop g4. 9, castle queenside. Knight d7. 10, queen e1.
White played queen to e1 to get out of the pin, with the bishop on g4 and the knight on f3. White could have tried to play the move h3 to provoke the bishop to move, but what would black have played in response? That would be knight to g3, forking the queen on e2 and the rook on h1.
Pawn to c6. 11. Bishop e2. Rook e8. 12. Pawn to g3. Pawn d captures e5. 13. Knight captures e5. Knight captures e5. 14. Pawn d captures e5. Pawn to f3. 15. Bishop d3. Queen d4. 16. Queen e4. Queen captures e4. 17. Knight captures e4. Pawn to f2.
By playing pawn to f2, what piece now has a discovered attack against it? That would be the white rook on d1 from the bishop on g4.
Rook d to f1. Bishop f3.
With the move bishop to f3, what piece is black now attacking? That would be the other white rook that is on h1.
Pawn to g4. Bishop h4. 20. Pawn g captures h5. Rook captures e5.
That is a couple moves now that the black bishop could have captured the white rook but hasn't. Why do you think that is? That is because the white rook on h1 has no squares that it can move to, so there is no rush to capture it. The white rook is stuck on h1. If it moves to g1, then black will capture it with its pawn. So while the white rook is still stuck, black can work on other objectives.
21. Knight g3. Rook a to e8. 22. Bishop c3. Bishop g5 check. 23. King b1. Bishop captures h1. White resigns.
Only now should black capture on h1, as capturing on h1 is removing a defender of the key e1 square that both black rooks and the pawn on f2 are fighting to control, and the white bishop on c3, the white rook on f1, and formerly the white rook on H1 were all defending. With a close lifetime record against Nepomniachtchi, this World Championship is bound to be a good one. So that is all that we have for this week. Tune in next time where we continue to look at games from the Masters and work on our blindfold capabilities.